Alright guys, well here I have a 6L80E and I just took the pan off, and this is the way the pan looks. Once I saw the pan like this, I went and grabbed the camera, and I mean, this is a good candidate for filming this teardown. And let me get this closer, and if you see there, I believe that the torque converter came apart, and the reason for that I'm saying is because you can see a lot of aluminum, you know, kind of like drifting down, and that's a lot of metal, and it's completely black. So good thing that I had the camera on me. I mean, this is a great opportunity to see what happened here. And this is very common for 6L80Es. The torque converters is very common that they fail. And if that's the issue here, we're probably going to see some problems with the pump. And it smells pretty burnt. I mean, you can see the fluid. It smells pretty bad. I haven't gathered my tools yet, so I'm going to be probably running around looking for the tools and stuff like that. I wasn't prepared to, you know, to film this. But good thing is that I had the camera on me. So we're going to film this. I'm going to go ahead and get this thing out of the way. You can see, I mean, there's a big mound right there of metal. You know, it's kind of, I don't know if you can see that. That's a pretty big mound of metal there. All right. What I usually do on the 6L80s, unlatch the connector right here, so I can take the sleeve out. Okay, there we go. You know, you get a little screwdriver and kind of pry it out. So you get your sleeve out, right? But once you get your sleeve out, then I remove the valve body, put the pan back on, so that I can take the bell housing or the pump out. So now that I got the sleeve out, then I get a special socket. It's like an inverted Torx Plus socket, and it's a snap-on. It's a Torx Plus. It's a 10E PL or PLE PL something 100. So you got 6 bolts here that we got to remove. 1, 2. You see, it's an inverted Torx Plus. You take this 6 bolts out. Yeah, I believe there's 6 or 8. I think there's 6 only. And then your valve body just pries right up. No big deal. It has 2 guide pins. That's why it feels like a little bit, you have a little bit of a tug there, you know, to get it out because of the guide pins. There's one right here and the other one down here. I probably don't have my camera set up correctly, but I'll try to do my best. I mean, I'm already dirty. I don't want to touch my camera. So this is the TECM, or the transmission control module. The solenoids are part of the TECM. This is your transmission range sensor. You have 2 speed sensors here, one here and one here, and they have metal on top of it. I mean, they're magnetic, so they are going to have some metal on it. We get that out of the way, and then we get these seals, remove those seals from this assembly here, and the other ones, they stay on the valve body itself. And they do come in the kit. Whether you are going to buy the parts from General Motors, or you're going to buy the parts from the aftermarket, those seals are included in the kit. Now let's go ahead and put our pan back on. And you know what? I don't need the gasket on. We'll take this gasket off. It's only going to be temporarily. The reason I do this is I need a little bit of room, you know, a little bit comfortable taking the bell housing out off the transmission. Alright, now I'm going to flip it over. It's a big transmission. It's a little big and it's a little heavy. So to manhandle, I mean, the planets are kind of beefy, 6L80s. They're a little bit more beefier than the 4L80s. Alright. Just like most General Motors products, they have a torque converter clutch O-ring on the input shaft. So this is our input shaft, and this is our torque converter clutch O-ring. Get that out of the way. Those are 15 millimeters. Yeah, I should have planned for this or waited a little bit, but I already started recording, so I'm just gonna go at it. Okay, all the 15 millimeters. Take them out, remove them. Usually it'll come right out. Sometimes you just need to tap it. This one looks like it's coming out. That's the shape of the pan, kind of lifts it up. Alright, a 10, I got a 10. No, it's an 8. Hold that thought right there. Okay. Put you on pause right quick. I don't know what it did to that 8mm socket. Alright, pound it on another impact. If you have the ATSG manual, you have this 8mm on the stator, here on the stator support. Even on the manual it tells you not to take them off, not to remove them, because this is pressed together. There is a gasket there, and on the aftermarket, yeah, the gasket comes in the kit. The kit that you get from General Motors, that gasket is not included. So I'm assuming that ATSG doesn't want you to take this off of the pump cover. And if it doesn't come on General Motors kit, the gasket, that means that you probably don't need to remove it. Now that we're here, I'm remembering I did a video that I got the pump body, which is the bell housing itself, for one of the 6L80 I was working on. It was on a Friday, and they gave me the wrong bell housing. It was machined incorrectly. Let's go ahead and take a look at this one. This is a 2009 as per the tag. Now the issue that I had, you probably can go back to the video. Some of you guys already watched that video. For those of you that haven't, you can go to my channel and look for it. I think I named it 6L80 wrong pump installation or something like that. I smoked the 4, 5, 6 frictions. It was working okay, you know, light throttle, you know, on the slow, you know, speed limits. But here in Houston, people, I mean, we drive like crazy, and you want to try to get on the freeway. I mean, you get on it, and you get on it pretty good, and just to catch up with traffic. And yeah, upon those medium to 3/4 throttle accelerations, I smoked the thing. All right, well, it is very scored. It is damaged. Can you see that? I'm not sure. What angle can I put it on? Well, you can probably see all the scratching. I mean, you can feel it a little bit with your fingernail. We can probably try and you know, run a little bit of emery cloth, see if this goes away. If it doesn't, I can feel a little groove. If you feel a little groove, I mean, just don't mess with it, just get another one. Let's look at this one here. The same thing. You can barely feel it, but it's there. And see, you have some scratches here. See these scratches right here? It's what metal got caught on the slide. And I mean, you will see this like on the 6L80s and some other units. They have a Bain type pump. Okay, so as we see here, the passage that I was talking to you about on the other one, it goes through here. So here's the boost circuit. The boost valve is in here. This is our pressure regulator valve. We're going to take this valve out and inspect it. It's probably going to be all worn out. But see how this this area here, there is no groove that goes to it. Now the pump body that I got, or the bell housing, it didn't have no groove machined on it. So if you don't have a groove on this side, you got to have a groove on the opposite end for the fluid to go. And being the boost circuit, once you're on the hard acceleration, I mean, you need to boost up the pressure. If that passage is restricted, you're not going to have no boost, and I mean, you're going to burn up the transmission. And as we see here, this is probably the way it is, because this one is not raised up. Let me see, am I on the right spot? Let me see. So here we have our boost valve, and it goes around a bolt. Okay, it goes around the bolt. Goes around the bolt fine, but see where the filter pickup is? Right here where the filter pickup, we want this area, and we want this groove here for it to go underneath the filter pickup area to go all the way to our boost valve circuit. And I have the video. I mean, you can check the video, and both of them are different, and you can see I have the old one against the new one, and they are different. But I'm trying to remember, I mean, on my head, but I mean, check out that video. Let's get this out of the way. All right. So we have seen that so far our pump is damaged. Its cord is damaged. You see all that metal on the pan, so our torque converter is no good. All right. All right. Look at this thing, man. That thing smoke, man. Yep. Smoke. All right. Let's take the snap ring out. This is the 456 clutch pack. By the way, this transmission didn't move forward at all. Only had reverse. We're gonna check that check ball as well. Man, you can see that this are smoke, man. All right, well, I'll take care of that later, but they actually come out this way. All right, so here's a friction plate. This is a friction plate, and I don't know if you can see this, but I mean, I show friction plates on some other videos. Let me just, I have one here laying around. What I did to it. Right here. This is a 4T65 friction plate. This is a brand new friction, and I mean, it's soaked. I always soak my frictions, you know, in ATF before I install them. I know I did a couple of videos with dry frictions, but I always soak them. I just did it because I was kind of pausing the camera and I didn't want to get a lot of oil on it. All right, well, you see the paper lining on this thing, and you see that, I mean, it's paper glued on a piece of metal. There is no amount of additives that you can put in this transmission. You're not going to be able to restore this friction to this. I know that a lot of you people say that you install, you put a little bottle of that, what's it called? I guess you know the name of those additives, transmission fix in a bottle or whatever. I mean, it's not going to fix this. 4, 5, 6 frictions smoked. They're smoked like this. Here's our wavy plate. We're going to need this. I mean, it got all distorted. It's not even a wavy no more. It should have been a wavy. It's a cushion plate. You can still see a little bit, but it's kind of dished. It got dished a little bit, and it's supposed to be, you know, a wavy. It's a cushion plate. That's what it is. All right. Just because the drum looks black like this doesn't mean it cannot be reused. You just remove your pistons, and you can see here where the snap ring is. There's a molded piston. There's rubber there, just like you see rubber over here. And you can see on the edges some discoloration. This rubber's no good. Just change the pistons on this thing, and this drum can be reused. 3, 5 in reverse, and 1, 2, 3, 4. That's this drum right here. Now I got before I take the snap ring off, let me just put this snap ring back on again. On this drum, you have the snap ring opening, but then you have one land right here that doesn't have a groove for the snap ring. So the opening of the snap ring falls right here, and then for the other clutch pack, it's on the opposite side. So we have this opening, snap ring opening on this side. Be very careful and don't install your excuse me, your snap ring like this, because it will pop out. So just be careful with that. Let's take a look at this frictions. Nothing happened to these frictions. These frictions look very good. Alright, let's get this spacer out. Now where were we? We were right here. Where are we at? Right here. See that the groove is down a little bit. There is still a groove there, but it's not the snap ring groove. The snap ring groove is up here, and there's nothing here. You're going to see it on the opposite end for the other one. We rotate it 180 degrees, and there it is. Snap ring opening goes there. All right. 3, 5 in reverse. They're in good shape. Let me get them all out. Now, there is an updated piston. For this drum, because it cracks and it burns your frictions. These frictions or clutches, they look in good shape. So by looking at these frictions, they look in good shape. That's an indication that the piston is not cracked. But it's only like $50 or $60 or something like that. I'd rather just put the piston in it and eliminate that issue down the road, you know, that may happen. All right, well, let me get this drum out of the way. All right, get this out. Let's go ahead and remove this other hub. All right, we have a big bad boy with a snap ring right here. Here are the 2 openings. All right, I know on the other video, I have a bilingual video disassembling one of these units. I used my snap ring, my screwdriver to get it out, and I do have the snap ring pliers, and I'm going to go ahead and use them for this video. But you can use, if you are you're very careful, just wear eye protection. You can remove that snap ring. It's very stiff. Alright, need to get it. It's a little, let me get my screwdriver. It's a little bit stuck in there. Have to be very careful. If this thing comes out, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and let it go. I'm gonna try to, you know, lift up on this side because it seems to be that it's stuck over here. And I mean, it could be, I mean, it is possible that there's some metal contamination in there, you know, hanging up this snap ring. Let me see if I can let's try it again. Pliers are kind of worn out already. Come on now. Here, builder. Where you at? It will come out. See how open we are on this side already? It's just hanging down here for some reason. I can get behind here. There we go. Get behind there. And get it out a little bit. If it's going to come off your pliers, just make sure that it comes off your pliers in here, not when you're coming out. I mean, if it hits your face, it's going to cut you. I mean, that's how stiff this snap ring is. So always wear eye protection. I think I got it out quicker with this screwdriver on that other video. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take the pan off and I'm just going to hit it from the inside. Let's do that. Alright. The pan feels a little bit, the transmission feels a little lighter. Get this pan out of the way. It's getting hung up down here. And we can hit it right here. There we go. Now that I don't have the pan on it, it's going to be kind of hard to get this on camera. Oh, here, this is the opening right here. They are a little worn. Just watch out. Behind it. Attaboy. One more. Lock it in place. Come on now. One more. There we go. There he is. Put it on the ground, step on it, and open it. You gotta put your foot on it, man, because if you don't do that, man, this thing's gonna fly. Get your eye out. Very dangerous. Alright. Now everything from here is just one drum with two clutch packs, the two 6. Yeah, there's some metal contamination in there. Usually by hand you can get it out. a little stuck. So all that metal, all that little fine metal, it travels all inside the transmission, and it creates a lot of problems. We're going to have a lot of stuck valves in the valve body. We're going to take the pressure regulator valve out right now and check that. We're going to check our check ball in the spacer plate, and the check ball is probably going to be worn, probably not going to be stuck on the spacer plate, but we'll find out here in a minute. Friction's in good shape. Get this out of the way. One more clutch back here. Go reverse. Good shape. All right. Let's get our planet out. Planetary gear. It's real heavy. Let's see. It's really heavy. Got one bearing back here. Yeah. That's it. There's nothing in there. We have the extension housing, you know, for our 4x4. You know, it's a 4x4 unit. That's where our transfer case attaches to. And that's it. Everything's out of the barrel of the case. The washer goes here. We can disassemble this, but we're gonna move on to our pump. Let's take this. Let's get the more interesting thing here. That's just 2 planets in there. All right. There we go. I'm gonna set a shop towel here. We're gonna remove our boost valve now. There is our boost valve in there. Man, look at that thing. I smacked it on the bench. That thing didn't even move. It's still in there. So we already have one item that is stuck. This is an indication that more things are stuck. More valves. Okay, we're just going to leave that in there for now. Just remember there is a boost valve in here. This is the boost valve. EPC boost, or whatever you want to call it. We have 2 springs, an inner and an outer spring. Now let's take this pressure regulator valve out and inspect that. I would be surprised to see that this thing would be in good shape. And it's not. Oh, come on now. Man, I was not prepared for filming, and this thing is trying to give me a little bit of a... Alright, let me see. So here we have our pressure regulator valve. Now on this side it looks in good shape, right? I mean, you're looking at it and it looks in good shape, right? Let me get it closer to the camera. Okay, now I'm going to rotate it. Can you see that? It is completely worn on this land right here on this side. Let me get a shop towel right quick. You're running all over the place. Sorry about that, guys. Alright, let's start all over again. So here we are looking at the good side of the anodization. It's an aluminum valve. I'm going to go ahead and just look at the first land. You see the shiny on it? I can see it. I can see it on the valve because it's shining the light from there to here because I'm standing on the side of the camera. Let me see. Okay, There we go. I think that's a better shot right there. Half of the land is completely worn out, and you can see some scratches here. When you see bare aluminum like this, I mean, it is very, very worn out. So you have pressure escaping from there. Low line pressure, that's what you're gonna get. Burn clutches, all right. Has no bands. I was about to say burn clutches and bands, but this thing has no bands. All right, well, let me get you closer here. Let me put you on pause right quick. Okay, to disassemble this, we need a 7, an 8, and a 10. We're gonna start from the other side. We're gonna remove our Tecum, but first, we're gonna disconnect the speed sensors. Let's disconnect them. Connect them back here. Just push it back a little bit, unlatch it from the Tecum, flip this thing over. Let's remove our two 8mm back here. I mean, if you guys were here, I mean, you could smell it. I mean, you could smell this thing. Okay, let's take our 10mm bolts and our 7. So we're gonna take our 10 first. Now that we have our socket, we remove these two 10s. Transmission range sensor. Sorry about that. Unlatch it. Squeeze. Pull. Undo it from the valve body. Get this thing out of the way. Now let's take our 7mm bolts out. Get away from the camera there. Okay. All right, let's check our pressure switches. They're full of gunk. I can't really see there. I gotta clean them up a little bit and see if they're not torn. The pressure switches. We have a screen here. This screen comes in the kit, whether it's from General Motors or from the aftermarket. Here is a round connector that the vehicle connects to, and you have to pull this tab up to get your pass-through sleeve connector here, the one that has the O-rings on it. And once you install that sleeve, you got to click it down, lock it. Get our Tecum out of the way. Let's remove the rest of the 7, and then we get an 8 and remove that 8. Every time I disassemble one of these valve bodies, I mean, I just get a crack out of this thing, man. It's a General Motors product, supposedly a General Motors, and what do we see stamped here? Aisin. Aisin, it's on Toyotas. So, does this make it a Toyota unit? Valve body is built from Aisin. I'm not sure if the whole transmission is built from Aisin, probably is. Now, let me get you back closer to the camera. I've removed the thing and I just noticed this. Look at this. Check this out. Look at this. Look at that big mound of aluminum right there. And the other one over here. This one slid down and you have the pressure switch ports right there. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we were covering one pressure switch here with a lot of metal, and we were blocking a solenoid from feed oil with all this crap right here. All right, let's go ahead and flip this thing over. this thing's got a lot of bolts, man. All right, and we get our 7mm again. Alright, let's take them all out. You can leave the speed sensors attached if you want to, or you can take them off. They really don't, they're not in the way they are right there. Just don't drop them because you probably will break them. And these are the two seals that I was talking to you about. One stayed in the case, so we took it out. And then we have two more seals, this right here, and this right here. And this seal on the pump itself, one here and the other one here, or like this, something like that. So far, what do we need? We need the complete pump assembly, the cover with the bell housing complete assembly. We need a complete pump for this thing. We need the 456 piston, molded pistons with the steels and the wavy plate, and of course the frictions. We're digging into this right now. Let's see what we're going to find here. Alright. There we go. We got 7 check balls in here. Alright. Check balls are on this part of the valve body. And the one on the bathtub, if you've seen that video that I got with the check ball stuck in here, I mean, you know that it's on this bathtub right here. I'm going to put this on the to the side for now. Go ahead and drain this thing, this side of the valve body. We're going to go through some valves right now. We're just going to check some valves and see if we got any hung up valves or not. Drain a little bit of oil from those worm tracks. Alright. And yeah. This valve right here. When you have contamination on these units, this is the first valve that gets stuck. If you can see the gap right here, let me get this closer. You can see the gap right here. I think you can see it. It is stuck completely on the on position, and it's actually venting some fluid out. Whenever this valve gets stuck open like this, if there's nothing wrong to the unit and this is the only problem that you have, you would put it in drive and there's nothing there. You would rev it up and then it would catch. It would start moving once you rev it up. This actually feeds oil on the 456 frictions on the top, on the balance piston. I'll probably need to get a oil schematic, not on this video, but I'll probably talk about it later. I'll probably just make a video just on this unit, but on the valve body itself, maybe after I'm assembling the unit. This portion of the valve body, on some models, there is an updated version of it that has a different type of weighted springs. You would have some solenoid codes, and these two valves are free. This is the only valve that I see that gets stuck very quickly. I mean, you polish the bore and then you get it real clean. This one's dragging a little bit. I mean, the reason I say it's dragging, with my little flathead screwdriver, I move it a little bit and I can feel, you know, like whenever you get some sand and rub it like on top of a table or on top of a glass, you can feel the roughness of the sand. That's how this one feels. Alright, with that being said, that's why I suggest that everybody will get a set of bench buddies. Get your valves out, polish the bores, clean it real good. I use WD-40 because not only it lubricates, it also cleans. That's why I like it. You can put ATF, you know, transmission fluid, whenever you're assembling your valves into the valve body. That's fine. I mean, that's what you know, they recommend on your manuals, but I like WD-40 because not only it lubricates, it also cleans. So here's our spacer plate, and here we can see where the check balls go. And this right here, normally the check ball will wear and they will get stuck on the plate, and you will put it in drive and there will be nothing there. You mess with the shifter going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You manage to get the ball away from the circuit, and now you have forward again and you start moving again. But once you come to a stop again, then that same scenario happens. Check ball locations: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. You got 7 check balls. These check balls are kind of white. Whenever they get worn out, they look kind of yellowish. And whenever they look a little yellow, I mean, that's when I see this check ball. This is the check ball that gets stuck in the case. All right, let's get the check balls out. You need to see the locations of the check ball. Just rewind the video and pause it there. And then put your check balls in. And as you can see here on my bench, you can start to see mounds of metal already and everything. I mean, I'm just working on the valve body here right now. This is how bad this thing is contaminated. All right. Normally I would see just dragging valves on this portion of the valve body. On that portion of the valve body, I mean, you would see that valve hung up almost every time you have metal. Yep. Now you use a flathead screwdriver like this. I mean, if you're going to use a pick, just make sure that you don't disturb the corners. If you disturb the corners, you're going to create problems. You're going to be the cause of the issues that you're going to have afterwards that you work on this thing. You can create problems if you use a pick, if you scratch. These are aluminum valves. That's why I'm saying that. I mean, use something blunt like this. Don't use anything very, very sharp. You damage the valve, you create an issue, and you're going to create symptoms that actually, I mean, they're going to be your fault, in other words. Symptoms that were not there before. Alright, well, I guess we have disassembled and inspected this 6L80 transmission. It's a 4x4, all-wheel drive, and you see what we need. It's very simple. I like these units. They're very simple. The snap ring, I mean, sometimes it's a pain, as we saw. I didn't want it to pause, try to get it out. I mean, I did everything live, so you can see that sometimes they don't come out easy, and sometimes you just compress this thing and it's just like butter, man. They come out. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna cut it right now. I already know what I need. I'm gonna go ahead and gather my parts. If I don't forget, if I don't get pushed to get this transmission out as fast as I mean, everybody wants the transmission fast. If I have time, I'll go through this valve body and I'll probably get a, oil schematics and talk about that valve to get something. All right, guys. Well, my name is Hiram, and click the like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.